On this video, I'm going to be reviewing the R2-BNE droid from Disney's Droid Factory. So R2-BNE is the latest droid to come from Disney's Droid Factory line. It's coming out in time for Easter 2025. I really like the colour scheme on this. The pastel blues and pinks, and obviously the bunny ears really set it off. And you know, there's obviously a theme here with Easter. Taking a look at the back of the card, it actually gives a bit of a bio for this figure. This droid can be found in the idyllic plains of Naboo. Join R2-BNE on their adventures throughout the galaxy. So interestingly, right, yeah, so they've actually got this droid set on Naboo. Now, while Hasbro may not be making too many droids in their vintage collection line, the Disney parks actually complement the vintage collection quite well. I think one of the reasons Hasbro doesn't touch these droids as much as they used to is because Disney have that monopoly on these sort of sculpts. The sculpts date back to the Legacy collection days of 2008, 2009, the Build-A-Droid line, and they've sort of run with it, and it's proved very successful. Some of these droids, when they're released, they don't hang about very long, so I was fortunate enough to pick up two. I'm going to open one to review on this channel, and yeah, let's get into it then. Straight away, you can see with this droid, the colours just really pop on this figure. The pastel blue and pink, they just go well, don't they? Easter themed with the white. The bunny ears are removable, as is the dome, as is all parts of this. Obviously, being a Build-A-Droid sculpt, we'll take that apart at some point. But yeah, this is the droid without the bunny ears. Obviously, they're a nice gimmick, but that's exactly what they are. You know, a gimmick for the Easter collection. Where will this droid fit in the collection? Obviously, mine is generally screen accurate where I can help it, so there's not much room for these sort of holiday droids. But I was thinking maybe he could go with certain characters. Maybe Droid from the Resistance has a similar color scheme. Obviously, it's sort of the pastel blues, but the orange. But I mean, she could be a good fit for the droid. Maybe with the Naboo theme, you could fit Padme Amidala in there. This is a Clone Wars, animated Clone Wars version. Let's just pop the hood off. Yeah, there's something, you know, maybe a bit sort of cartoony about the colour scheme. So yeah, I mean, that's not a bad fit either. But yeah, I've got plenty of time to figure out where he's going to go. Obviously, from the card back, it does reference Naboo, so maybe that will be where he ends up going. But yeah, the colour scheme really does actually, it shows up all of the detail, doesn't it? I mean, there's so much detail in these astromechs. They're as good as, they've got as much detail as the vintage collection counterparts, with maybe the exception of the sort of the tubing that comes out of the feet. These are just a few of the more recent Disney droids that have been released. 3 from the Ahsoka 4-pack. You've got B2EMO at the front. They do tend to do 4-packs from the shows and the films as and when they come out. Again, very popular. Like, you get figures that you wouldn't normally get in the vintage collection. There's very few that have crossed over from one line to the other. Obviously, Chopper being one of them. And like all the Disney Droid Factory astromechs and the Legacy Build-A-Droid figures, they do all come apart. They do all share the same tooling, so you can mix and match if you are so inclined. Just as an example, so these are my 2 picks for companions for this droid. I think Droid, Padme seem like obvious choices based on color scheme. I will try and find some other figures for this droid to go with, maybe get him in a setup of some sort in the future. But that's it for now. This is my quick review of this figure. I think it's a great addition to the line. It's a really cool holiday droid. Hopefully they'll be back in stock on Disney at some point if you missed out prior to this. But yeah, that's R2-BNE. All right, so just in closing then, what do you guys think of the Droid Factory line from Disney? I think it's a good accompaniment to the vintage collection, but let me know what you think. Are you a fan of this line? Would you rather see the likes of B2EMO and Jabba's Bartender on actual vintage collection car backs, or are you happy to get them in the Disney Parks range? I do think that they come out slightly cheaper. They don't hang around for too long though, so it's kind of a case of get them when you see them sometimes. Yeah, but for me, yeah, it's a welcome addition to the collection, something a bit different to what I'm used to, and I will at some point find a place for all the Disney style droids. Yeah, and look out for that in a future video. But for now, I've been David the Dead. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed what you've seen, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined, but also drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of this line, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.